Hey there YouTube, this is sjm4306 back with another review video. And as Dave Jones would say, we have another suck of the salve. Eksa, who sent me already one of these other pairs of gaming headphones and a pair of true wireless earbuds to review recently, sent me this model, which is the E900 Pro. Getting a little bit tongue-tied there. It's a 2-in-1 gaming headset, and this covers, I think, pretty much my biggest complaint that I had with the 2.4 gigahertz wireless version, was that there's no way to just plug a patch cord directly into the headphones and use it without the wireless. So here you can see this is a wired pair of headphones, and a couple people noted that if you're just gaming on a PC, then why not just have a wire? So these, I think, will be a little bit more useful for my use case, and also I would like to see if this is as comfortable as the other pair. This would actually be really cool. I recently got a pair of a VR, like a VR headset. This would be awesome if I just get a short patch cord and plug it in to use with that. Anyway, this has the same signature 7.1 surround sound. It says you do need a driver for this, so it's not fully self-contained within the headphones like the other model was. It says widely compatible. Of course, it's just an analog input and comfortable premium memory form, sorry, earmuffs. And here, yeah, you can see it's compatible with everything, because why wouldn't it be? And interestingly enough, oh, I didn't realize this. So yeah, it has the 3.5 millimeter audio input. The other end, it includes a USB port. So is it like a sound card that you plug in? So you can use this either with any analog audio device or over USB. That's interesting. 50 millimeter driver diameter, and they give you the impedance, 32 ohms, etc., etc. And the mic itself as well, which I believe is detachable. Anyway, that's it for this. Let's just pop it open. And I can already see some of the goodies. Comes with the same like leatherette bag that the other model came with, which is actually a very nice bag, so I'm happy to see that. And let's just open this up a little wider. And yeah, I can already tell this is super comfortable. I haven't put it on obviously yet, but it's pretty much the same design as their other pair, except for obviously this is the wired version. It does feel, I believe this is plastic. Yeah, there's the metal grill here. So I'm wondering if these are open backs as well. They look like they might be. And they have a plastic cap, and I guess this is the part that lights up. The other model had like a really cool, it was underneath the grill, and it glued through it. So this looks a little bit cheaper, but I believe these are cheaper headphones. I think last I checked, these were about $50, whereas the wireless pair were about $100. So about half the price. But I think I care a lot more about the comfort. And these ear pads, oh my god, these are like so soft. You can see they're a little bit squished in transit, but they'll puff right up if I just leave them out here. And yeah, you can see the red material inside that says left and right. Uses, I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same mechanism, just the wire color is red here, but the same like ear cup mechanism as the wireless pair. And the top is also this really nice like plastic leather kind of material. Let me give it a smell. Yep. Smells like it's comfortable. Anyway, we got that. We got a small goodie bag. And there's nothing else in the box here. So let's see what we got. We have the boom mic. And it's just sort of has this like wind filter here, which is removable. And it does have sort of this wire armature, so you can actually adjust this. And this will plug in. Yeah, it actually is sort of keyed, so that's nice to see. So it'll only plug in one direction, and it just plugs in right there. And you can adjust this. Probably won't be chatting much on this. I'll be using this for like multimedia consumption and gaming, so won't really use that. We have the USB and yes, Type-C. And they did the same thing that they did on the other model. It's a little bit too inset. So the cable they provide is fine, but if you have a chunkier cable with thicker plastic molding on the outside, it might not fit. So that's sort of a bit of a bummer, but yeah, as long as you keep this cord, it'll be fine. And it comes with these really nice like Velcro wire wraps, and all their cables are so nice. Actually, their materials that they use to build these headphones are really nice. Like this is like a silicone rubber. It's like very pliable, and yeah, only works for Windows. It's saying. I'm guessing because the driver that they provide to do whatever the surround sound, I guess, is only compliant with Windows. Here we have just a simple patch cord. Oh, that is cool. I like that. So the green end goes into the headphones, I'm guessing, and it actually has like kind of two metal protrusions. That's to actually lock it in place. That is a good idea. Yeah, you can see lock, unlock. There you go. So when you insert it, it goes in straight, and then you tilt it down, and now I can't pull this out. So if you're, I don't know, playing some kind of, that would actually be pretty good for like VR, because if I'm like swinging my arms around like a madman, it won't just pull out the cord. But the only thing is that means this cord, this is the only cord that I've ever seen with that kind of mechanism. So it's not like you can lock in any standard aux cord. It has to be this one that locks. It'll clearly work if you use the other end to insert. This is just gonna pull right out though, so it won't actually lock. But that's interesting that they added that function. And then we have, this is a latching switch. It's not a momentary, for the mic on and off, and it has actually a pretty good positive click to it, and you can feel the difference when it's on or off. So that's good. We have the volume control here, and it's like a pretty decently sized analog wheel, and I definitely like that about the wireless version. So yeah, I'm guessing that means that the lights only work clearly when it's powered over USB. So here I've got a random power bank. Let's just test that out. Yeah. They look very nice, though. It's kind of the signature red and black kind of color scheme. They look kind of more orange on camera, but they're definitely like the same red color as the wire there to my eyes. Yeah, it looks very nice. So anyway, I guess there's nothing more to do than to actually sit down and to try these out. So let's get to using them. Okay, so I've actually used these for a little longer than normal. I received this, I believe it was like halfway through December, and due to the holiday rush and, you know, everything going on with that, I've had these now for about a month and a half, and I've used these actually quite extensively at work, and I have to say these are probably my favorite pair of headphones right now, even more so than, I actually kind of like them a little bit more than the previous pair that I have, which is the E910. These are the E900 Pros. They're the kind of cheaper model. In terms of value, though, I think, so these guys, these are wireless. They kind of force you to use wireless because you have to use a dongle. There's no line in jack, so it's less convenient, even though I think these look much nicer. And especially when you turn them on, they look fantastic. But yeah, but because of the fact that they force you to use a wireless dongle, even if you want to wire it in, you have to use the included dongle wirelessly, and then you plug the jack into the dongle instead of just plugging it right into the headphones. That kind of kills the usefulness of these for me. And that, coupled with the $100 price tag, it's something that I think isn't that useful for my use case. These, however, I believe these set out at about $50. These are perfect, absolutely perfect. They might not look as nice, though the construction is actually very similar. in terms of like their practicality for me, it's much better. You can always plug in a headphone jack directly into the unit, and it just works with everything that way. I would like to see them make a pair that's Bluetooth so that they kind of combine the best of both of these, have Bluetooth, but also have a line in jack that you can default to if you want to listen to like a wired connection. But yeah, for $50, these are fantastic. They're maybe a little less comfortable than the 910s. You can see the ear pads on the 910s are a little bit deeper and a little bit more plush, but it's actually not much. You can see here, I'll show you one to the other. Yeah, it's just like a tad bit more shallow. So one thing I noticed when I wore these, my ears never, oh, sorry about that. When I wore these, my ears never touched the fabric. After wearing these for a little while, like half an hour or so, I can start to feel, as these compress, I can start to feel my ears touching the red material inside there. And it does bother a little bit. So these are maybe slightly less comfortable, but at half the price tag, I think that's okay. And they're still very comfortable, don't get me wrong. The padding on top is fantastic, as good as the other pair. Uh, yeah, and I've worn these for pretty much like 2 to 3 hours straight. The only issue I had was slight rubbing on the inside of the pad here. And other than that, comfort was fantastic. The ear pads are like super plush, no bother there. It doesn't, it's maybe a little bit tight when I first started wearing it, but I just kind of bent the top there to give it a little bit more give. And after that point, no head clamping, doesn't bother me at all. The pads swivel enough to kind of adjust to your head. Uh, it's super comfortable to wear. These are one of the most comfortable pair of headphones I've ever worn. But no, yeah, I really like the analog volume control. I know I'd made this a point on the other pair of headphones as well, but it's just kind of nicer actually. A lot of devices that I use digital volume, and an often problem that I have is you want a certain level, and you'll find that due to like the quantization, one level will be too quiet, and then you turn it up to the next level with the digital control, and that'll be too loud. There's no in between. Analog, you can get, theoretically infinite control over the exact volume, so that's fantastic. And in terms of sound quality, these actually sound really good. I was listening to video game OSTs, namely Persona like 3, 4, and 5 through this, and they have really nice bass. It's not over accentuated. It's really punchy, and when there's no bass, it's very clear, like the mids and the highs as well. I wouldn't call these like audiophile by any means, but they're actually really nicely tuned. They're pretty playful, not really tiring to listen to. So I literally listened to this for like 3 hours at a time straight. And, my ears never tired from it. My head never felt like it was uncomfortable wearing these, with the exception of my ears rubbing a little bit on the inside. So, yeah, I would like to see maybe if they could place these ear pads onto this unit. I think these would be perfect. I would literally wear this everywhere I went. I really like the design on these, and for about $50, that's a really good deal in my opinion. So yeah, I did try out. They do have a surround sound driver. You can actually plug these straight into USB-C, and they do enumerate like a sound card basically. So you don't even need an analog jack if you're using a computer with USB ports. And it does say it only works with Windows so far. I'm guessing that's a driver limitation. And it does work. There is a difference in the sound. It makes it a little bit wider, I guess you could say. I didn't prefer it over just using the analog, or even if you just plug these in, you don't have to install that surround sound driver. Just using it straight as is sounded good enough to me, honestly. For $50 pair of headphones, that was already still good enough. A negligible difference anyway, and I don't like installing random software to my computer, so I think this is good enough. wire it in either via USB or with an analog jack. And I didn't think that the surround sound was a make or break for this device. So I was happy using this without it. And like I said, if you don't have a Windows computer or you want to use this with like a portable device like an MP3 player or an Android phone, you can't even use the surround sound driver anyway. It's not compatible with anything but Windows. So yeah, if you guys are in the market for a pair of headphones, if I had to rate it between these two, if you want absolute like comfort is your highest requirement, and good sound quality comes in second, I would probably go for the E910s. These are just slightly more comfortable. The wireless thing, though, I kind of wish they just had a line-in jack here or just did Bluetooth. That would have made these almost perfect. But if you don't really care about comfort quite as much, you still want comfortable headphones, but they don't have to be, like absolutely comfort centered. I think at half the price, these are kind of a no-brainer. I would have to actually suggest the E900 Pros over the E910s for like the average listener. Yeah, these are actually really good value. I really like it. The design maybe isn't quite as nice. This only lights up when you have it plugged into USB. Uh, the build quality is still pretty good. There's nothing that feels cheap about these inherently. Maybe the plastic could be a little bit thicker. You can hear that. This plastic is maybe a little bit thicker, and this is a little bit thinner. So maybe it's a little bit more echoey. Oh yeah, another huge thing I forgot to bring up. These are open backs. These leak. I had my dad sitting next to me. I was listening to some music. He couldn't maybe hear exactly what I was listening to, but he could hear some kind of like tinny sounds coming out. These, I thought they were going to be open back. No, these are closed back. They barely leak any sound, maybe a tiny little bit, but not nearly the same level as this pair. So yeah, if you want headphones that you can wear on a bus that aren't going to leak, these will work just fine. On the other side of the coin, uh, these aren't totally sealing, so they're not noise isolating. So you can actually still hear stuff outside. It muffles it slightly. So that might be a contributing factor. These aren't going to be like noise canceling headphones by any means, especially at the price point. There's no circuitry in them, and they also don't physically isolate your ears as well. So there is going to be some sound leakage. For my line of work, I actually need something like that. I need to be able to hear stuff around me while still hearing music. So these are almost perfect for my needs. So these are actually going to sit on my desk at work and pull full-time duty listening, because I used to wear wired earbuds, these guys, sound Power Beats 3s, I think these are, and these are okay, but my pair is slightly falling apart. If you see right at the cable here, the little ends are falling apart. It's discolored. The earbud parts are getting nasty a little bit. Some of the plastic is starting to like fall apart. These are just held together with adhesive, basically. The battery life on these are fantastic, but they're just physically not going to hang in, and they're discontinued now. So I could only get like aftermarket or used refurbished pairs or whatever. And so no. So I need a new pair of headphones anyway, and these fit the bill almost perfectly, and the price is right in my opinion. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll have links down below. You can check out either this pair. They make a couple different pairs. They make higher end, mid. I would consider these kind of mid range. I wouldn't consider them low end. So yeah, anyway, once again, huge thanks to Eksa for sending these in. They've already sent me 3 different types of headphones slash earbuds, and I'm definitely interested to see what they have in store in the future, because their design seems solid, their implementation, like the actual materials, seems great, their value seems pretty good, even better for these mid-range models. So I'd like to see what the next iteration of this, the E9000 or 1000, whatever their numbering scheme is going to go to. I'd like to see what happens in the future. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.